I didn't think about the 4-day school week. That's scary.
Right? That would be terrible.
Because then you're not getting a day off.
No, you're not getting a fucking day off. Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca Minkoff, designer, author, podcaster, Skillshare teacher, and this is Office Hours.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hi. I think a lot of people think when they're doing the work that they love too much, they're going to experience burnout. When I do what I love, I never experience burnout. Yes, there can be exhausting days, and of course that happens to anybody, but I think it's when you don't enjoy what you're doing. That's what makes it miserable. And so the key is finding what that is and solving that versus deciding to quit, deciding you maybe need to take, time off, because I find that the minute you get back into it, if you haven't solved it, it's right there back where you started. I think the worst thing you can do is be apathetic about what you do every day. You're going to spend more time working than doing anything else, so you should do what you love, and you should find a passion in what you love. And boundaries, yes, they need to be there. If you have a family or you have outside commitments that are important to your health, you need to push back and do that, but that doesn't mean that you just phone it in.
It's not that I'm lazy, it's that I just don't care.
I think at different phases of your life, you're going to have to prioritize when to take a job for the money and when to take your dream job. And that all depends on the income you need to survive, if you have a family, if you have people you're supporting. And I think the goal is to always push towards what you do love and make a plan. If you need the paycheck, guess what? I get it. We all need to make sure that we have food on the table. I love an exclamation point. I think 3 is probably the max you should use, because then you just look like maybe you had too much coffee or some other substance that morning. I think that you could look at the Great Resignation in 2 very different ways, that it is the end of the world and, what are we gonna do? Or it is the beginning of a boom of entrepreneurs and founders. And that's what I find exciting, that people are saying, corporate America doesn't work for me. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I look at the Great Resignation as an opportunity for incredible startups to get started and for people to really define what they love and do that on their own terms. I think it's absolutely imperative when you're starting out to become a professional in the one zone that you excel at.
Are a very particular set of skills.
And when you've done that and you can do it in your sleep, by all means expand. Every time I've been forced to expand, I learn and grow. I'll never forget when my brother said to me that I needed to understand the language of business versus just being a designer. I resented him for it, but I ended up loving what I was learning, and it's really helped shape me as a designer and how I approach business. Pre-pandemic, I wouldn't allow myself to work from home, nor would I allow anyone else. And now I think it is the one thing that has not only saved me, but my company. And also it has allowed me to spend more valuable time with my kids and really concentrating on things I need to get done that I just can't do in the office because I'm distracted and excited to see people and talk to them. I would love a 4-day work week. I think that'd be great. And I think that England has already proven it, right? That you can do this and you can be happy and have a 3-day weekend. The important thing would be that it has to be a 5-day school week for the kids, because if you give the kids off, then no one's gonna wanna work a 4-day work week. Self-promotion, I think, is a tricky thing, especially as a woman. I would see my brother, who was my co-founder, very easily promote everything he did great. And I noticed I was always saying we. And then when it came time to actually take the credit, the we didn't help me at all. And so I think that you have to find a way to do it that lacks ego, that ensures that the team members who helped you get there are validated. But when you're sitting alone in a room asking for a promotion or a raise, it's I. Don't ask me about TikTok. I have nothing to offer. Social media is definitely rewarding and validating video. It makes it harder because you almost have to become a media machine. And I feel like we're in this time of change where you have to do video. Everyone has to have a strategy. How do you make it different? So it's definitely for brands something that you cannot just look at another brand and copy and paste. If you have a side project or side hustle, you should do it. I think if it's something you love or it's something that could turn on into a full-time career, I encourage it. And I have several team members on my staff that I know have side hustles, and it's exciting to watch them evolve and succeed. Even I, in the middle of my career, started some side hustles. My podcast, side hustle, my book, side hustle. And so for me, those are new areas to explore, new areas to conquer, and learn a new skill that I think is constantly forcing me to grow and change. The goal is to find something you love, pour your heart and soul into it, and the reward is that. That's the very thing. If you make money, great. If you get famous, awesome. Those are cherries on the top of a passion that you're going to be wanting to fulfill for a very long time. So if you don't love what you do, by all means go out and find it, and just know that your career is something that's going to take a long time to build. And so I encourage you to embrace hard work, embrace ambition, and be realistic about the expectations you set for yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to learn more about how to build a brand, click the link below and join my Skillshare class.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.